Are there different racing series that each brand considers? Slime seems to be, correct me if I'm wrong here, it seems to be more applicable to the off-road community because, that's when you're fixing a flat tire through slime, it's probably because of a thick puncture that you got when you're off-roading and, you ran over not a log, but a stick that put a hole in the tire. Versus, let's say, the car care products, which are Black Magic, you're making a car look nicer. So that might be more hot rods. How do you differentiate which series and which brand?
It's so I'll speak. What makes that question a little bit difficult to answer is we are a spread out company too. So Permatex is in Ohio, Slime is in
Mm.
San Luis Obispo, California. I'm out in Houston, Texas. So I'm a little bit more aware of what happens in my office, which is the Rain-X wipers, Black Magic. Rain-X has got a great drip sponsorship, and that was what they were looking for was quality assets, podium finishes, and a great look of a car that they can then leverage. One of the things, and this is like taking that question and kind of running with it. One of the things that I look for as a brand guy is I consider myself having three customers. So my first customer is my internal sales team. My second customer is the buyer at a big box retailer, and then the actual end consumer. And those three customers are all motivated by something different. So when a brand is approaching a potential racer, it's what does that brand need and how are they going to communicate to the customer? So one of the things with the big Rain Extra sponsorship, that really fires up a buyer and our sales team because they're able to walk out and say, look at this amazing sponsorship that we have where we're getting podium finishes. And that is what is important for the brand. Because from a consumer perspective, that's an incredibly strong brand in the wiper market. For me, I'm looking for that authenticity that a grassroots racer could bring, where I'm not necessarily even concerned about the race car. I'm more concerned about the tow vehicle, right? If I can, the tow vehicle or even the daily driver, if you're, this is my race car. This is what I drive every day, but I've got an old F-150 that I have to keep running. I don't want to put money into it, so I want to use a fuel additive in that so I can get to work every day. That is almost better for me than the race car. The race car in the background, blur it out, leave your old F-150 in the front. That is what I'm going to look for because I'm trying to reach that end consumer with some authentic content, where some of the other brands are really trying to motivate a buyer or our internal sales team.
There are a lot of racers on the call that are very excited that you said that because they're like, woohoo, it gives me hope. Now there's an opportunity for me to approach a brand and offer something more than just my racing. Sounds like the racing is obviously the platform, it's the credibility, the legitimacy. I'm a racer, I race an X series. However, it's much more that person does behind the scenes that creates the value for your product, at least. How do you calculate return on investment, or do you? Can you?
I don't have a great way to calculate a return on investment.
Yeah,
So
it's tough.
um, the weird way that I would calculate a return on investment for the type of partnership I'm looking for is how am I able to take my marketing budget? Because I don't have a specific motorsports budget. I have a marketing budget. If I can shift dollars from one place into motorsports, it makes me happy just as a fan of motorsports, but it also gives me that authenticity. So if you're able to deliver assets that I then can avoid having to go and create myself, that is one of the easiest ROI allocations because it was like, hey, I was going to spend X grand to do a photo shoot, and now I don't have to do that photo shoot. Well, that's money that I can put somewhere else. But I still got the sponsorship and I got the photos. So that is kind of how I look at ROI is can I shift marketing dollars over here because I'm going to have to create that content. So if I can avoid creating content, I'm plus.
That's good. You're paying for athletes and drivers to be an extension of your marketing. That's really cool. We only have a few seconds left. Any last words of advice for drivers on the call seeking sponsorship?
Words of advice would be you are a brand and you are a product. So treat yourself like it. Make sure that you are representing your brand consistently so that when I go through your social media, I don't have to avoid, and other people have said that awkward conversation that's going to come later. Also, think of yourself as a brand. What products do you use? Do you go approach those products, etc.? Will be the advice. And then reach out, have authenticity, and understand who you're actually trying to talk to and what their brand is.
Awesome. Tony, thank you.